This is Fox News. This is called "Is Putin Ready to Pounce?" Why don't you just jump right in and just say Putin pounce? Question mark. Hello. Oh, the doorbell rang. I don't know what I got. Oh, it's a package. Someone's at the package. Okay, that's okay. Somebody will get it. Putin mulling options if the West doesn't meet his demands. Let's see. Do I say fuck or do I say off? Maybe I'll just slap them together. Fuck off. Who cares?
Action over the weekend if the West, does not agree to his...
Oh, there's a fucking Freudian slip, Fox. Look at that. There it is. Ladies and gentlemen, game, set, match. The Freudian slip that Fox Network, when they think West...
military action over the weekend if the West, does not agree to his security...
Yeah. Ouch. It's a little early to audition to be on RT in the middle of your Fox segment.
Putin has called on NATO to deny Ukraine and other former Soviet countries membership and to roll back military deployments in Central and Eastern Europe. So how serious is the threat? Former Deputy Defense Undersecretary Lieutenant General Jerry Boykin joins me now. Lieutenant General, wonderful to see you today.
So great to be here. The world is coming to an end. If we don't do everything, the Biden administration is a travesty. If we don't do everything Putin says, we're all going to die. Also, Merry Christmas. We had time to hang stockings, and I've lit some candles because I figured if the house burns down, who gives a shit?
I'll start right there. How serious is the threat? Because many folks are saying they're looking at Putin right now, looking at the United States and saying, what am I looking at? I'm looking at Putin, looking at the United States, and I'm in the United States. Where the fuck what's my eye line? God damn it. Weak leadership here. This is the perfect time to pounce.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
You know, Putin, as well as the rest of the world, watched the debacle in Afghanistan. He's watched our...
Yeah. He's watched us leave Afghanistan, and now it's just sandbox now. He can just go down there and do whatever he wants. I mean, he's annoyed that we're no longer holding ISIS-K and the Chechen rebels at bay by offering our soldiers up as targets all the time. But, other than that, he's laughing his ass off.
Leadership decline in terms of real strength and real resolve. And just think in terms of what did it say to Putin when we agreed to lift the sanctions and allow him to build the Nord Stream pipeline?
Yeah.
Wow.
I'll tell you what it did. It was like, go ahead, motherfucker. Run all your oil through that pipeline. Give us one target instead of 30. Shutting down a fucking pipe, I don't know, strategically, I don't know why I have to explain this to fucking people, and it should be the most, obvious thing in the world. But right now, you can either blow up a bunch of ships with people on them, or trucks driving over land that are bringing oil and gas into Europe, or destroy a pipeline that they're using that belongs to another country, or you can let them build the Nord Stream, and then if they don't behave, you can shut the fucking thing off. If we just punch holes in it, we can gut their economy in a week.
We were asking the Saudis to provide more resources for us. Look, here's one thing that...
No, we were not. We were telling the Saudis and every other oil-producing country to start producing more because the price was going up artificially. It wasn't for us. We have enough.
You need to remember, though, this is not just an American problem. This is a European problem. And the Europeans have to be very much involved in how we approach this and what actions we take.
And there's going to be a Zoom call, some sort of conference call between Putin and Biden next week. And my understanding is that ahead of that, Putin has withdrawn about 10,000 troops from the Ukraine border, but he's still got a...
It's weird. It's like he can tell that Biden is weak. He's withdrawing troops, but that's exactly what you would expect him to do, as he's gonna, it's all part of, it's 7-level shit. He's not trying to make concessions so that we'll let some sanctions off and ease the pressure on his fucking country as he finds his power waning and the sharks are circling in his own fucking country as he's dealing with his own bullshit at home and a spike in COVID deaths and all kinds of others. It's not that. It's that he smells weakness, and this is the perfect time. He's pulling these 10,000 troops out, and he's going to release them across our southern border.
Very heavy presence there, approximately 90,000 more. So some are saying this is all smoke and mirrors ahead of that conversation.
Well, I wish that were the case. And nobody really knows what Putin's intentions are, but we do have to take this seriously. But
yeah, we are. The adults are. How in the world does the conference he had, the Zoom call that Biden had, and the next one he's going to have, and the sanctions that they put on, and the sanctions they put on the insurance companies for the Nord Stream pipeline, which is another way of gutting the fucking thing, instead of just simply fighting with Germany about it, just going, yeah, we're not going to let any of our insurance companies insure that fucking pipeline, because if we have to blow it up, we're not paying the cost of rebuilding it. Hey, could Trump have thought this shit up while he was in office? Well, no. But could someone around him have thought it up and presented it, and could he have done it? Yeah. Why didn't he?
Keep in mind also that the Ukraine is really a buffer between the West and Russia. And Putin wants, more than anything, he wants to rebuild the previous Soviet Union. Now, it could never be the same because we've already integrated several countries into NATO.
So, right. So he's not going to. And he's worried that we're going to incorporate more in, and they don't have any reason to join because all he's going to do is snake resources out of them, just like Stalin did. Just like the 3 million Ukrainians that were killed during the Holodomor. Like, why the fuck would they want to rejoin this bullshit? It didn't work when the communists were running it. It killed 3 million Ukrainians. Why would it be any different with the Russians running it? Especially if there are 3 million Ukrainians in that country that don't want to be a part of Russia anymore and decide that they're not going to allow it. They're dead.
But what he does not want to see is he does not want to see NATO coming any closer to his borders. He does.
Tough shit. Also, we're not making Ukraine a member of NATO. Not yet. And Putin's basically trying to wag the dog to save his own ass in his own goddamn country.
Feel the pressure. He feels that NATO is a threat to him. And let's be honest, NATO was created for just that purpose. To be a counter to Russia.
And essentially...
Which is necessary, because without it, they would be steamrolling through Europe. They would have done it a decade ago.
It could be also said that, no, I mean, the status will never be the same, but that this is one way for Russia to try to regain its geopolitical relevance within the global space right now. Yeah,
because God knows they couldn't do it through technological advancements, creating products the world needs, actually functioning as a tourist-friendly country, not being run by a bunch of gangster oligarchs. Why do all that hard work when you can just declare war on a neighboring country for relevance? The fuck is wrong with you? Why is that? Let's see. I could learn to eat right, do some exercise, improve my wardrobe, take some lessons in charm, maybe improv to build my conversation skills, get a degree, and maybe that girl will like me. Or I could murder her husband and put her in a trunk and drive her up into the hills. What's easier? This is real. All right, lady, in the trunk you go.
Yeah, absolutely. And keep in mind also in 2000.
What do you mean, yeah? What do you mean, yeah, absolutely? Again, is that the prerequisite when you're on Fox that you have to, or Newsmax, you have to answer the fucking questions with a, I agree. Yeah, totally. Before you start speaking?
14, America did nothing when Crimea was annexed by Russia, and they're still there. So he has, I think, every reason to believe, especially given our weak leadership in America right now, and I would say even in Europe, there are some weak leadership there as well. I think that he would see this as an opportune time to do the same thing for Ukraine as a whole. What we, though, as a nation have to do is
no. Slicing off a small part of the fucking country when nobody expects you to attack is a totally different thing than taking over the whole fucking country. That's all-out war. That requires you murdering people in the streets. Large numbers of them. Not taking, loosely populated areas and military bases in a dry part of the country, but going through the cities to Russian tanks in the streets of Kyiv, like, that's some serious shit. That's next level. That's all of Europe on board. That's Ukraine becoming a member of NATO by accident, by fiat that day.
The president needs to immediately reimpose the sanctions on the Nord Stream pipeline. And he needs to find out exactly what the Ukraine believes that they have to have. And we need to start arming them with lethal weapons and material.
We are. But we're not doing an ad campaign about it, fucko. We're not, that's one of the biggest differerences between the Biden and the Trump administrations is that the Trump administration had to do this. They would go, we gave them a bunch of guns. They're all in this region where I drew a little line around where all the bombs are with my Sharpie. They're all in this region. Now, if Russia knew they were there, obviously this would not be good. But people need to know I don't get any credit. I don't get any credit at all for putting the bombs all in this area and down through here. And there's some airplanes also, and we put some gear over here, right? And then over there is the, sitting in a chair next to the podium is the military equivalent of Dr. Birx going, oh, fuck.
That will ensure that this will not be a simple takeover like it was in Crimea. You need to remember, we all need to remember that the reason the Russians ultimately left Afghanistan was because Russians were being killed there. Russians were being sent home in body bags, and no one could explain to the people of Russia, to the moms and dads that were receiving their sons on the way home, nobody could explain why they were there, what their objectives were, and when would the...
No, he is overlaying American values onto the USSR's Afghan fight. They didn't give a fuck. This was land that we need for whatever. Like that, nobody got a fucking say. People weren't weren't rallying. They ran out of fucking money. We were backing the Yusufzad and the Mujahideen, and we were giving them the missiles. We backed fucking. Oh hi! Look who's come to say hi. Come here, you. Look who's come down here. Hello, little man. Come here. He's about to jump up in my lap. Look, everybody, it's Chip. Chip decided to come by and say hi. Are you tired? Are you all done? Huh? What's going on, buddy? Yeah? Hi. He was sitting in my lap during the part of the Stuttering John show, and now he's like, are you done? Can we go sit on the couch? What's happening? Can you cool out while I finish the show? Thank you, my love. It's so funny. Chip. They love you, Chip. I'm just saying. Yes. You're a good boy. Yes, you are. You are stinkums, but you're a good boy.
Be over. So we need to give Ukraine as much lethal material as they can take.
We're going to be watching this story.
Absolutely. And considering their president is a former comedian, I mean, we're always looking for lethal material because we want to go out there and kill every night. It's and not everybody has an easy time coming up with that stuff as I do. See what I did there? Oh, boy.
Very closely, and we will have you on again to discuss it as it progresses. Thank you so much for your time today, sir.
Yeah, thanks for wasting all our fucking time with your spooky ghost stories about fuck all. How about that? How about no one needs it? Jesus Christ.